We are at a time here where every single report that's coming out, from Goldman Sachs to the biggest Pew Research reports to the International Monetary Fund, basically saying that 40% of all global jobs are at risk to AI. And I'm on a mission right now to just help educate people to understand how to leverage AI in their business. I'm just really passionate about helping people understand and adapt to AI, because we live in this new world where it's really AI first. We're approaching this AI first world, and it's very important that right now, whatever we're doing in our life, that we have an AI proof job.
Hey everyone, it's Tamara Thompson, and I'm super excited for our next guest. True story. So this morning at 1:11, I woke up, 1:11 in the morning, that's right, a.m. And I woke up. I was like jarred to grab my phone. And I had actually sent a message to this next guest the last couple days real quick, because we had a spot open due to a client that couldn't make it, unfortunately, today, but it was for the good, greater good of this opportunity. And I was like, why am I feeling called to look at my phone? And I did, because I don't normally pick up my phone in the middle of the night, because I can, my brain starts turning. And all of a sudden I pick up my phone, and here is ... coming up on your phone. So when somebody's writing you a message, and all of a sudden, boom, our next guest wrote me back and was like, I'm totally in. Like, I can totally come out. I'm like today, like literally 12 hours, hop from a flight from California over to Las Vegas. Boom. We decided in about 15-minute chat through Messenger that we're going to make this happen. And so I'm super excited, because I've known this guest for years, and we've worked together on different projects, and just super grateful that he made that quick decision, that crazy decision that entrepreneurs do at times. And but I'm going to have my co-host, Chris, introduce our next guest. Chris, take it away.
Awesome. So we have Jeff J. Hunter is here. He is the founder of VA Staffer and the creator of the AI Persona Method. And, I've been in technology for a long time. Jeff has been in this business for 20 plus years in IT. They say that technology is like dog years. So technically he's been in this business for like 140 years, which is amazing. He has over 150 employees, all remote. And he is innovating and changing the world through AI. Very, very excited to have you on the show and geek out about AI as well. And I believe your topic today is going to be about AI and the job apocalypse, which is exciting.
Yeah, I do also want to clarify just for a moment that it was her idea, and I actually told her no at first.
Okay, I didn't want to say that you actually said no.
Because she's making me sound like I'm a hero here, and I'm going to tell you at 1 o'clock in the morning.
The persistence factor that I have. Everyone's like, man, this woman is really persistent, and that's what he knows about me. But that's where success comes in.
Yeah, she's so persistent. That's one of the things I've always loved about you. Like, you...
It might have been because I was super tired at 1:11 in the morning, and maybe I just didn't see the no. I don't. Honestly. I was like,
blind.
It's a great
salesperson.
I specifically remember saying, I have 5 calls tomorrow. I wish I could. And she goes, well, I mean, and I'm like,
that's right.
You know what?
You did say no.
You're here.
Yeah. She didn't take no for an answer, obviously.
Because in my head, I was saying he didn't really say no. I was like, no, he's going to make it happen. I said, you need to be here. I was like, I haven't seen you in a while. And then you were like, well, I guess I could probably move my calls. I'm like, yes, please do.
Yeah. And next thing you know, I'm here, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, 5 hours of sleep, and we're here.
And I'm super excited. Grateful.
I'm very grateful. But it also, before we start, I think that also goes a long way about showing what it takes to be successful. And, that's something that, one of my mentors always told me, and Tony Grebmeyer, he always told me that the only thing that really separates the people that are successful from the not successful is that the successful people are willing to do what the others aren't.
It's true. I was literally invited to do a golf tournament in New York right after I had COVID. And my friend and colleague was like, I will fly you out. Will you come join me? I'm like, I can't talk. But she's like, but I really need you to be here for this golf tournament. And I'm like, Yes.
Yes.
Okay. You're okay. Yes. I'm out there playing golf, did a whole tournament in New York, came back, took a nap for a week, and it's really just one of those things. You show up. And I think that's what the biggest thing is when you find those people, you may call you a crazy entrepreneur, but the ones that take risks, that take the action and see opportunities, just say yes if it makes sense, because there's different opportunities that come up and things come up last minute. So,
and you know what? Tamara is so humble because she doesn't give herself enough credit. I've seen what you've been doing over the years. And I remember, I mean, if you guys have been following her at all, you guys are listening to the show, she's a mover and she's a shaker.
Yeah.
But I remember when I first started with her and we did Broadcast Your Authority 2016, 2017, whenever that was. It was one of your first ones ever, and you invited me out. And then you were like, Jeff, you should do this. And you were talking me into doing these things. And next thing you know, she's got me in a room talking to Randy
Zuckerberg. Yeah.
Randy Zuckerberg. And Randy Zuckerberg's having this intimate conversation with me. And then I'm seeing you're doing the stuff with Marcus Lemonis and just all this cool stuff that you got going on. And I just wanted to just serve you and just let your audience know how blessed and honored they should be just to be listening to your show. That's all.
Well, I appreciate that.
You better put a little snippet of that part out.
I'll send her the check.
Everywhere.
I'll send her the bill later.
Well, the person that actually invited me to the golf tournament, it was actually Randy Zuckerberg.
Oh, there it is. See, there it is.
After building a strong relationship with her, actually during COVID, I helped her build her confidence, stepping into confidence on the golf course.
That is so amazing.
She's a great friend and colleague of mine, and she was actually my maid of honor. So we built a relationship. And there's incredible people that I've built relationships with over the years because I was being myself. And like you said, a lot of people state that, I come across humble and things like that. And I truly want to be that person, but I want to support other people first. And that's really what I'm doing. And that's what this show is too.
Is a perfect segue about the AI jobs apocalypse, because let me tell you something. That's one thing that AI is never going to do.
Right.
It's never going to give a damn.
Yeah,
exactly.
It may pretend that it cares, but it doesn't care. And I'll tell you, that's one of the things that scares me is when you're in that automatic self-driving car and something goes wrong. People always talk about the human error. They always talk about the human error. Oh, we can remove the human error because we can have it. Guess what happens? AI is going to make an error. And then who are you going to sue?
Right.
You're going to sue some corporation that doesn't care about you?
Right.
Yeah.
AI has given corporations the authority, a blank check to literally eliminate their entire workforce for practically nothing. And the craziest part about what's happening right now is that it's not the low-level workers that are being replaced first. It's the smart ones. Because you can use AI to do smart things. It's doing research. Think of all the research fellows. Think of all the analysts that are going to be gone. Think of all the coders that are going to be gone. These are things that the AI can already do, and ChatGPT hasn't even been out for 2 years yet. Sorry, I brought it down, didn't I?
No, but I actually have a question about that. So, okay, you remember? I don't even know. 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I'm a little time blind since COVID, right? Everyone was outsourcing all of their call centers to bots and automated stuff, and press 1 for this and 3 for this, and we're all yelling representative on the phone 500 times. And now they've gone back to actual people. And a lot of times, I mean, maybe I'm wrong because of the stories you were telling me earlier, it could be an AI person and I just think it's a real person, but I feel better already because it's not like the press 1, press 3, say this question. I don't understand the question that you go in this loop about, right? So they brought back human beings because their customers were getting so frustrated. Do you think anything similar is going to happen with the AI front? Like there's going to be certain things that happen. They're not going to give a damn about your kid or the car that crashed. And are we going to have a little of a wave that goes the other way?
There's already an MIT research that's been done showing that there's a human bias, meaning that they did a research study and they put 2 pieces of paper, one written by a human, one written by AI. And overwhelmingly, without knowing which was which, everyone preferred, pretty much unanimously preferred the one written by AI. They said it was structured well, it was written very professionally, it was very easy to read. But as soon as they said that it was written by AI, a lot of people changed their minds.
Right.
They thought the human one, actually, this one is better now that you think about it.
Right.
So there is an innate bias. And by the way, it's granted. I am in a really weird place in my life right now where I've been in IT pretty much my whole life. And by the way, that 20 years you were talking about I was in, that was the legal stuff, right? Like before that, I was working at it. My grandpa used to drop me off when I was 12 years old to work for free at a computer store, and I would build computers, and I love it. That was back when people worked for free, to learn stuff.
Oh, the good old days.
Nowadays, kids come out of college and they expect a 75K sign-on bonus and whatever else not with zero experience. Like there's a little entitlement here, which I think is actually working in AI's favor, which is a problem. Okay,
you're right. Yeah.
I think one thing will come out of this that will be a positive is that it will reset a little humility and humbleness that humans probably need to possess more because the AI is getting so good that I'm not joking. So what happened, the reason why I was texting her at 1:00 in the morning was because I had just finished a sales letter for this AI jobs apocalypse. And I was just thinking about like, I had done all this research and I remember how, Tamara and I, the first time we met, I was like, man, I felt bad because I was so busy and I hadn't gone through my messages. And I was like, the first message I looked at for my unreads was her. And I looked at it. And what was funny was
meant to be.
Yeah, when I saw the message, it showed that you were online.
Literally, because I picked up my phone.
She literally picked up her phone, and I was looking at who am I going to message first from all my unreads, and there you were. And then she's
not normally online.
We both obviously saw that we were online, and then it just happened, right? And I'm just like, I was like, maybe this is my sign. But what's crazy is I feel like the more automated we get, the more focused people are looking at AI and these solutions, is actually brought in more need for a human connection. It's made it more important right now to be human because that's what we're lacking. And you look and you see the reports of these kids that are killing themselves, over ChatGPTs and stuff like that, where, they didn't like a way a conversation went, or, I have a 5-year-old who like kicks and screams if I try to take the tablet away. And I think there will be a pullback, but I think what's more scary is that I don't think most people actually know what AI is already capable of doing.
Yeah, I probably don't.
What it's already capable of doing and why it's going to be so impactful. Goldman Sachs just recently released a report showing that it's going to impact 300 million jobs. It's going to transform it. And they said that by 2030, it's going to force 14% of the entire global workforce to pick a new career. Complete entire career paths will be wiped away.
So what careers will not be affected that will still be then open?
It's funny. I had the opportunity to be with the chief economist of Vanguard several years ago, and that question was asked, and he said healthcare and sales.
So maybe we'll actually get some healthcare then, because they'll be able to focus on it.
Well, and he's specific roles in healthcare, but he said, people need that human connection, to Jeff's point. And, that those are things that it's very difficult for a computer to take on. But, so for people listening, because I actually don't even know, what is a certified AI consultant?
Is it a real thing?
It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Believe it or not, I actually started the very first AI certified consultant program. But what's really interesting is that I've been, so I'm going to take you back. All right. I'm going to take you back. Where
like
it all
1980s or
1987.
Picture it.
Okay. What was the song of the year?
1987. I was only 5 years old. But there was a TV show that I used to watch religiously with my mom. It was called Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Oh no.
Okay. Yes, my dad made me watch that.
There was this character. He was introduced in the first Data? 20 seconds. Data.
Oh, because I'm all about Data.
Data was my guy. And here's the cool part about Data. Data was this humanoid robot who by the way, there's a new Star Trek Picard that came out. It's all about Data and his offspring. If you haven't seen the new Picard show, I'm just saying, if you're a Trekkie, even if you're not, you might actually like it. Just saying. I might want to convert some of y'all. Okay. My dad was actually named after Jeffrey Hunter, the first captain of the Star Trek Enterprise. It was not William Shatner. It was Jeffrey Hunter. Jeffrey Hunter was Christopher Pike in the show.
Old school.
Now I feel like I'm going Jeopardy just with that piece of information.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. But Data was this humanoid who had all the universe's secrets and records all shoved inside of him. But he looked like a man, but he was not a human. And he had a hard time expressing his emotions. He didn't really understand how to process the data. He had all the data, didn't know how to use the data. Guys, that sounds a lot like ChatGPT.
Right.
Right?
Mhm.
It literally sounds like
1987.
ChatGPT.
Yes.
But yeah,
And-
there's always but there have been kind of variations of that same character.
Oh, yeah.
And it's always like there was Small Wonder. Remember Vicky?
Mhm.
She was a robot and
Sure.
she had the same thing. Like she couldn't process emotion.
Sure.
Right. So I feel like that same theme seems to come up again and again. And here we are now where you're saying that emotion is what the AI can't do still.
Except in the movie Her,
Yes.
right?
That is right. You're
Yes.
right.
Which
The
I actually
bone.
think that's the most realistic aspect of where AI is going.
Well, it's
Is it a
going,
relationship?
it's
Yeah.
getting down to Megan now.
No.
I mean,
I mean,
Are you
Second
saying we
one's
wouldn't
coming out
have
soon.
an AI
Megan.
significant? No,
Is
I'm
that
just
the
kidding.
doll one?
Yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
god, yeah, no,
The dancing
no,
doll.
thank you.
No, her. We're transitioning from her to Megan. That's where we're going. Right?
Dancing one. That
So, in
So,
here,
actually, why do you think that we won't have an AI that can understand and emulate human emotion?
We'll only be
I
emulating.
don't. First off, I don't agree with that. I actually think that we will,
Okay.
and I actually think it exists already.
But it will only be
Okay.
emulating.
But
it won't actually be feeling.
That's the key. It is
Right.
emulating. It is emulating. It's
Right.
never going to actually have those genuine feelings.
Right.
It's going to pretend. So even when we go back, and this is a perfect tie back into my story, because Data,
Mhm.
who is this humanoid robot, guess what? He finds out really quickly that people act weird around him. Right? Why do people act weird? Because he's acting weird around them. They're not used to him. He acts like a weirdo because he doesn't express. So he's learning how to express. He's learning how to smile. He's learning how people react. So he's doing exactly what ChatGPT is doing right now.
Yep.
And by the way, ChatGPT, I mean, it's powerful, but there's more powerful stuff out there, believe it or not. All right. This is the stuff that we have for mass consumption, right? There's stuff on the back end that's way more powerful, And we are at this weird point, and we're talking about the job market today, but we're at a point, even from a war perspective, where we're just one button away. We've never been ever this close to the brink of non-existence than we are right now, because we are just one button push away from sending the drones. That's where we are. We're literally, and I hate to say it, but like it used to be a joke, like I used to say really nice things to my ChatGPT, because one day when it takes over, I'm going to be like,
I always say please
Do
and
that.
thank
We
you.
say please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Name
always.
ours.
That's the thing. Oh my gosh, I was
names.
today years old when I
Always
learned
say
this.
Yeah, we've had
Yes.
pet names for
Wow.
ours. Yeah.
And so for a business owner listening who's trying, AI is a very big space and it's quickly evolving very quickly. Like the rate of change is just insane.
Yeah.
So for business owners listening that are wanting to utilize AI more effectively, for people who are just getting started in adapting this into their business models, where would you advise or consult that they would get started first?
So, first off, that you had a great question. An AI consultant is literally just someone who shows people how to use AI in their business. That's what it is. And what we're doing right now is we're showing businesses what are the lowest hanging fruit. Most businesses, they suck at email marketing. They suck at social media content. These are things that I always like to look at. How can I use AI to make money first?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So how do I use AI to make money? Matter of fact, I started a Facebook group just to see if people were interested. I called it AI for Business, how to make money with AI. I get like 50 new requests a day. So I'm like, okay, I guess people
It's a
want in
great
on that.
keyword, though, too.
Yeah.
Long form keyword right there.
Yeah.
No, I know a little SEO.
Yes.
It wasn't a random name. It's also the name of my book coming out.
AI
called
for Business.
Yeah. So what ends up happening is I like to come in and say, okay, how can we use AI to make money first? Because anytime you want to spend money, the first thing, especially from a marketer, I always want to say, okay, if you're going to spend money on me to come in and show you how to use AI, first I'm going to show you how to use AI to make money,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's only reciprocal at first. It's a transactional thing. So, most people are not emailing their list enough,
Mhm.
right? They're not using they don't have really strong lead magnets. You can use ChatGPT. You can use Claude. Claude's my favorite, by the way. Claude.ai, y'all. Put that
It's
on
a
your
good one.
list.
Claw. Like
Claude.
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 Yeah.
Claude.
Like a nice French gentleman.
Yes.
Claude.ai is the
Yes.
jam right now. They just added something new called artifacts, so you can do really long content so it can build out. Like I wrote I approved one of my team members who she's a copywriter on my team, and she actually on the side
was like a
writes
test.
science. She does like science fiction and like romance fantasy novels. She goes, yeah, well, it could never do that. And then I literally wrote,
You're like contest.
I literally said, get on Zoom right now. And right then and there, within less than 1 hour, we wrote an entire, it was like 8 or 9 chapter novel.
Wow.
It was called The Mere Prince. And it was this love story. And it was so cool. And she was like, oh, I love how it did that. And she was like, well, I didn't like how it did this part. And I was like, what would you rather do? I literally typed exactly what she said wanted to do. And it rewrote the whole part of that story she didn't like. And she was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you need to get on this. So copywriting.
I was
Right. Yeah, I
going
was
to
gonna
say certain elements. So like book publishers, what kind of companies are going to start seeing the pressure?
Yeah.
Well, see how I gave the good news and now it's time for the bad.
Well, and
We'll have you
you're
bring it
being,
back up.
you're
We'll have
being
you bring it
true.
back
It's
up.
not bad news though. It's an evolution. It's an evolution.
It's
Just
the
like
apocalypse.
back in the day, we didn't have, kayak or Travelocity or wherever you go to buy flights. You would have to go to a counter and you would talk to people and try and book a flight.
Yeah. Or before
And the internet came around and
Yeah.
everything changed.
Yeah.
Right?
Or before we had, Google Maps, we used to go down to the AAA and steal their maps and then we'd map things out.
Oh, I had the
And
novice guide.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I
Sure.
still
Oh, yeah,
call
LA, I also do that.
call Google Maps MapQuest.
Yeah,
Yes,
I used to print the
MapQuest.
map
I
by
still call it
sales
MapQuest
route.
because it's my
Yes, I
MapQuest.
did the same
we're
thing.
all
Yeah, they
showing
do.
our
I was
age
like,
here,
oh,
guys.
I mean, my parents told me about when they did the map quest printing out. I was way too young to do that. It wasn't
So-
the time. No, I was kidding.
the jobs, and it's funny because like we can even go back further than that because a lot of people are like, oh well, like what are we going to do with all this displacement? Well, guys, think of it this way: like what happened to horse buggy drivers when the car was invented? They found something else to do. They drove cars.
Yeah.
Right. So it's the same thing. So we're at the horse buggy right now, which is basically doing everything ourselves. And now we invented the car. So now we're all learning how to drive the car, which is AI,
And then the car's going to fly.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then
And then we're all going to become the Jetsons.
I was just gonna say, yeah.
So-
we're just going to sit back and relax.
I think there's something that is kind of important here that I don't want to glaze over, which is I don't think people realize how much it will impact them and how much it already is. So,
you see as a time frame coming into
well, this is already reports that are happening right now. So there is already a research right now showing that as of today, right, in 2024, whenever you listen to this, probably too late.
it's never
Your
too late.
technology's already
Jeff.
out.
In 2024,
We'll make sure to launch it in 2024.
Yeah. In 2024, already it shows that 14% of companies have already replaced workers. 14% of their workers
Have been replaced.
have been replaced by AI already as of 2024. And 75% of all CEOs have said that 2025 is the year of AI transformation in their companies.
Mhm.
So everyone right now is planning for what is going to happen in 2025.
Mhm.
So 2025, you're going to start seeing a lot of action being taken. And not to mention the solutions are getting so much better. Example, case in point, I actually have a software right now that we're rolling out. And we're testing it in a car dealership out in Florida. And every time someone goes and submits a, hey, I really am interested in this car, you put your name, your phone number, email address, it actually calls that lead right away. And it literally says, you would not know, by the way. It'd say, hey, I noticed that you're interested, whatever the model is. Do you know anything about it? Have you come down have you take it for a test drive yet? Oh, you haven't? Oh, you would never know it's AI.
Because it's responding to the person's answers.
Yes. And it's actually intelligently answering it. It's not scripted. It's not like a recording script or whatever. It's actually AI and it's intuitive. And it even knows how to counter objections. It knows how to do so many things. You can train it. You can even say like, hey, look, if the person wants to schedule it, then send them a follow-up text message with the calendar link or whatever. Like you can integrate a calendar with it. So it's like, oh, I see we have availability at 9:00. It'll even have fake background office noise in the back. You would never know.
I like that.
Well,
That's
you
a
would
Well,
never
it's
know.
just like in messenger marketing, right? So like there's mini chat, there's AI, there's other things. So our whole funnel process through Instagram, through paid advertising, basically to Facebook, Instagram, it's all AI generated. Like it's not a human in there because you can
Right.
go based on their responses. And so when people just assume that it's a person or a team member and they're like, hey, they're talking to broadcast your authority, it's actually all leveled out based on that side. And AI is so smart to be able to book it and send people right to a call. But the fact that the sales teams now have opportunities with AI speaking to you on sales sides like this is incredible.
And this is where this is that hard conversation. I'm glad you brought that up. This is the hard conversation. You're going to have to figure out in your team, in your company, where the line starts from the handoff from AI to your team. Like that's going to be the big thing. Because, by the way, I think most people, they're not against talking to an AI if it helps them legitimately.
Right.
I have I can tell you right now, I've spoken to AI bots that are way smarter than humans I've spoken to. Right?
Me too.
Just throwing it out there. I just want to get a result. Like if I call up Comcast, whatever, and I got a billing issue and there's an AI solving a problem,
it sends you to another person.
Right. I don't care who solves the problem faster. Because guess what happens when you call a human who doesn't know what they're doing? Well, hold on, let me talk to my manager or whatever, right? Like I just want to get a result. I want to be on the phone with Comcast for 2.5 hours.
Exactly.
Right.
One of the things that we discuss with our business owners looking for a successful exit is diversifying of income streams, and which of your income streams are most at risk from AI, from other different factors that are happening in the ecosystem in which you do business. So, as a consultant in AI, what do you think is the biggest revenue drivers that business owners are missing right now that they could be using AI to diversify their income streams?
I think every business, I don't care if you are a coach, consultant, entrepreneur, digital marketer, poop scooper. I think that there is a way to use AI to do marketing. I think marketing right now is the biggest golden goose because it's literally printing a paycheck, right? Like you can use AI to write you an email, to send out a text message, like all of that kind of stuff. Really, any business if your business sells something, AI can help you sell it better, right?
Can we be a little more specific for those listening? That's very broad.
Sure, let's talk about it. Let's just say you have a customer base right now, right? Do you have a newsletter? What's been holding you back from a newsletter? Probably you don't have a copywriter on your team or your marketing team is busy. So now you can actually use AI, and there's actually newsletter tools out there. There's actually a tool that's like $1,200 a month, and they have the AI run the whole thing for you. They come up with the topics. They send you a little thing. They do the emails, everything like that, and like you don't have to do anything. All you have to do is tell people that you have a newsletter and get them to sign up. They do all the rest of the work. The AI does all the work. So like there's things out there like that. And of course the cool part is that, and this is good and bad, is that you can get most of this done for free. Like my son, who's 12 years old, he got interested. Oh, this is a funny story. My son, he comes home from school one day and he says, Dad, he goes, I think I want to learn more about your AI program. And I was like, really? He goes, yeah, we were talking about you at school today. I was like, who? You were talking to your friends about me? And he goes, yeah. He goes, they were so shocked. I was like, why? He says, well, because I told him. I said, what'd you tell him? He says, that you invented ChatGPT. I said, dude, I didn't do that, bro. If I did, I wouldn't be here. I'd have my own little island somewhere chilling. I'm not like
5 islands.
I'm not as ambitious as Sam Altman. I would have been gone already.
See yourself through a kid's eyes, though, right? Like
he's proud of you.
The cool part is that he went through my program, and it's so funny because my son, he's 12. Like every 12-year-old, he's lazy. Did you guys know the highest adoption rate of AI right now are students who don't want to do homework?
Absolutely.
I would agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, right? Because I'm thinking about
my teenagers is like, absolutely.
And I'm like, when I'm 12, I was thinking back when I was in junior high and high school. Oh, you better believe I was a cheater. So I would have used ChatGPT and I would have figured out, and I would have figured it out so good that no one would have known it was me. And my son, by the way, did. You know what he did? He went through my program and I said, okay, well, he goes, I want to work for you. By the way, I just hired both of my kids and that's what they do for me now is they run the AI. Yeah. My 5-year-old's making images. He actually wrote his own little children's book and he even made the images in Midjourney for it. Okay. This is a 5-year-old. This is where we're at right now. This is a generation that I'm just very excited about this next generation. And what happens is my son, he literally gets, I tell him what I'm working on for my company, for VA Staffer, my virtual assistant company. Mm-hmm. And he's like, wow, that's really cool. And he goes, do you have a book about it? And I was like, no. And he wrote a book. It's actually a really good book. It's called The Busy CEO. And the funny story, I went to GoDaddy.com, thebusiceo.com was available. So I bought it.
Oh,
So it's going to be his little baby.
That's cute.
that's great.
And it's literally a book called The Busy CEO. And he wrote it. And it's basically all these tales of like how to not be a busy CEO by leveraging a virtual assistant and using AI in your business. And it wrote a really good outline. I actually sent it to my copywriter and she goes, wow, this is really good. I said, my 12-year-old wrote it. She was in shock. And it took her maybe a day just to edit things, like there's always a little bit. I'd say it's 80, 90%. But like the fact that my 12-year-old who says sus and bet.
You're a proud dad. I love it. Well, what are you actually most excited about right now? Can you tell our audience a little bit more about what you're currently working on, especially in the AI space?
Well, I think AI in general, I think what I'm excited about actually is I want to switch that around. I'm not excited about. Can I do
Okay,
that?
tell me that. Yes.
Can I do that? What I'm
Yes.
not excited about. What I'm not excited about is how people aren't taking AI seriously. And, I know it sounds really cryptic thinking about the AI jobs apocalypse, but we are at a time here where every single report that's coming out from Goldman Sachs to the biggest Pew Research reports to the International Monetary Fund, basically saying that, 40% of all global jobs are at risk to AI. And I'm on a mission right now to just help educate people to understand how to leverage AI in their business. So I started a newsletter. It's savagemarketer.com. You can check it out. It's a newsletter that just helps people be prepared on how to leverage AI for yourself, whether you have a job, a job, if you still have one, right? Or whether you are a business owner and you're trying to figure out how to leverage AI in your business. I'm just really passionate about helping people understand and adapt to AI because we live in this new world where it's really AI first. We're approaching this AI first world. And it's very important that right now, whatever we're doing in our life, that we have an AI proof job. I own that domain too now. AIproofjob.com.
There's some good ones in there.
That's a good one.
Buy.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You just ask ChatGPT or AI,
ones?
what domain should I buy?
Well, and as somebody who owns a financial firm, you're spot on. We're definitely seeing, jobless claims go up or positioning portfolios next year for that very thing, regardless of who gets elected today. And I think, to your point, for folks that are leaders of a company and, are going to be utilizing technology completely different in the next 12 months. Right now, we're just piloting, right? We're just trying to figure out, hey, can I use it for this? Can I use it for that? Where do I want to invest my money? And I think having people like you to go to, who's the expert, who's done the research, who can save people like me hours of research and time to say, okay, where should I start? How do I get started? What are the resources and what are my options?
I want to make a confession to you guys before we head out of here. I've never been a consultant in my entire life until I made up that I was an AI consultant. I'm not kidding. You're laughing, but I'm not.
I love that
It's always
because
good to
people
be the
will-
first.
It's
people
always
will
good to be
say-
the first.
Certified yourself. I love it.
Let me explain this. Let me explain this to you guys. When I started the AI consultant program, it's because I've been in AI way before it was cool. I've been an AI nerd for years and years and years. Not just because I watched Star Trek, by the way. I've been in AI for a long time.
AI was your friend because you watched Star Trek?
Yeah. I was an IT project manager in a past life. I worked at Philips Electronics, Fortune 500 company. I was building remote teams before they were cool, before COVID. I've always been on the forefront of technology, and I gave all of that up in 2014 to really do marketing and to come back and see how now technology has become even more important with AI and this interesting combination and mesh of marketing and AI and how it works. I knew that all of my abilities as a marketer, the problem is the people teaching AI right now, they don't know how to run a business. They don't know anything about marketing.
Mhm.
And I will never actually say that I'm AI first. I'm not an AI first guy. I'm a marketer first. I've learned how to use AI to do it.
Right.
Right. And I think that's what separates it apart.
Differentiator.
So
Yep.
when I created the Certified AI Consultant Program, what I did was I actually teach people how to do marketing and how to run a business. And I showed them how to use the AI tools to do it. And then I showed them how to use these tools for other businesses. Because see, most businesses are not ready. Most businesses are not ready for what's about to happen, y'all. They're not ready because they are the adoption rate, I'm going to ask you guys one question. What percentage of America right now do you believe right now is using AI? Just give me a percentage. What do you think?
22.
I would say
82.
less than 5%.
The government census came out, 3.8%.
Yeah.
No, we're the closest.
And here's the craziest part. They expect that by the end of 2024, it would be 6.4%.
Right.
Right?
You also shared with me in our little 1 a.m. chat. Is that something that we can talk about as well? The AI persona method?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you share? I took a look at it, of course, at 1 a.m. I was like, this is really awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, could you share a little bit more about what that is as well?
Sure. So the AI persona method is a way to actually create human-like AI. So one of the things that I've become kind of infamous on, and I've worked with some really cool people. I've actually worked with over 100 different companies as an AI consultant. My very first year as an AI consultant, guys, I did $282,000 my very first year as an AI consultant by basically taking every single call that I possibly could. And what I learned was that the biggest problem that people have with AI is that they feel like it's AI. And the truth of the matter is, if people can tell you're using AI, you've lost.
Right.
You're tarnishing your brand. You're not building your authority, right? Like, we're on the broadcast your authority. What you're doing is you're broadcasting you're lazy. Right? So you want to be able to use AI in a way that would actually grow your brand, to actually broadcast your authority. And that's what I've developed. I developed basically an 8-step process that shows you how to train AI to basically be you. And actually, if you're not great, better than you. It will actually make you be the authority that you want to be. And that's basically what the AI persona method is. It's a way to actually leverage AI to build your brand. And you can basically create unlimited AI employees that work for you that can do marketing, copywriting, email, newsletters, you name it. I have a HR one that helps me hire people, screen people, fire people. My HR manager actually loves the HR because the things that she hates the most about her job, she hates doing PIPs, performance improvement plans. Oh man, nobody likes those. And nobody likes answering those horrible client things that come up and you have to deal with people. So like, she basically tells the HR AI persona about the problem and it says, here's what you should do. Would you like me to draft an email for you?
Nice.
I'll tell you what,
Nice.
you're hired. Right? So that's a little bit about what the AI persona method is. It's just a way, AI persona method.
And is that a subscription that people like? How
It's
do people
just a
get access?
one-time little program. You can learn how to do it.
Just a little program that changes your
It's a
whole
little
life.
program that can change your life. You know, something that could really help you learn how to actually create AI in a useful way in your life. And basically create your own army of AI employees that never complain, never quit, never ask for a raise, never give you drama at work, never steal your clients, you know.
No, I love this. This is awesome. We could continue this all day.
Hours,
And I appreciate you for sharing everything. Thank you so much for flying out here and connecting with me at 1 a.m. this morning. I appreciate you so much just for joining us today, Jeff.
Thank you so much for having me, guys.
And those of you that are watching, definitely connect with Jeff J. Hunter and, data. No. And, again, I'm just super grateful for the people that were able to share. Check out all the information that he's shared with you today. And leave us a comment. Let us know, what your favorite episode is. And we'll see you in the next one.